set in this stunning venue where champions are born and dreams are chased. Today we witness the fire and passion of the country's most promising volleyball talents. Welcoming you live from the very beautiful Met Park Sports Center in the heart of Pasay City. This is the opening day of the National Developmental Sports League Volleyball Series. And good morning to everybody. My name is Cholo Pangilinan, covering the action still with LPU Lady Pirates open spiker Faith de Guzman. And Faith, again, what a four-setter of a game we had our opening game. Pero this time in the men's division, syempre, ibang division to, ibang timpla ng laro. Ano bang pwede natin i-expect?
Yes, and we're set for a high intensity showdown between these two powerhouse squads, the ATENEO Collegiate and the professional team Alpha.
And syempre, pag-usapan muna natin itong ATENEO. Of course, kilala natin yan being a participant in the UEAP. And syempre, high caliber yan, alam ng lahat yan. So tingin mo, ano bang kaya nilang ibugo against a professional team in the Alpha?
Of course, ATENEO is ready to prove that collegiate talent can stand toe-to-toe with the pros.
And of course, itong Alpha, alam natin na mix to ng mga former UAAP players, meron din guest players who are currently playing in collegiate leagues. At syempre, meron din tayong mga ligang labas. At syempre, meron din mga professionals talaga. So sa tingin mo, ano bang ibubuga nila sa ating laro?
Alpha brings experience and that undeniable professional skills. Will the young guns from ATENEO rise to the occasion, or will the seasoned pros Alpha remind everyone that they're built for this level?
Yes, that is the question we would like to find an answer for. Pero for now, bibigyan natin ang spotlight kay Andrea Veloso, our courtside reporter.
Hi, Cholo and Faith. For the Alpha Insurance, they've been together for almost a year now and has joined Spikers Turf. Pero ang main goal nga ni head coach Michael Santos of this NDSL series is to gel his rookies to the system, such as Simpson and Bautista from Letran, San Andres from Mapua, and the NCAA Season 100 MVP Rocky Motol. Promising rookies nga ang mga ito, and is looking forward seeing them play with the team today. Meanwhile, we're looking at the younger players of the ATENEO. This lineup is mainly composed of freshmen and sophomores, which is the main goal of this team for this series, to develop these young guns and for them to fully acknowledge and practice the Atenean volleyball culture and system. When we come back, Alpha Insurance versus ATENEO. This is NDSL Volleyball Series.
And again, our second game, a clash in the men's division. Alpha Insurance going up against the ATENEO Blue Eagles. And again, just like what we've mentioned, for sure we're in for a treat. Itong Alpha Insurance, a professional team. Ito ng mga ATENEO, young guns, collegiate players. So, medyo similar sa ating theme in our first game in the women's division. Pero tingnan natin ano bang magiging difference nitong men's division clash.
Yes, as we all know, Alpha is composed of different teams from the NCAA and the UAAP. And dito naman sa ating ATENEO, let's see kung sino ang mag-step up para sa kanilang game here in Met Park Sports.
For our second game, we will have Alpha Protectors going up against ATENEO
And again, I was able to talk to the student manager itong Ateneo Blue Eagles, and she said to me that the mix of players here in Ateneo is medyo hindi pa tayo certain sino nga ba ang Team A o kaya naman Team B, quote-unquote. Kasi sabi niya, hindi daw talaga sure ang spot, no? Hindi porket na-line up ka last season in the UAP, next season, mala-line up ka na rin. Kumbaga, maybe in their culture, ayaw nila i-assume na ganun para syempre all players mapapakitang gilas tuwing naglalaro sila, and of course, walang magre-relax. So maybe that's one thing to take note of. If you're Alpha Insurance, no, you're going up you're going up against a team na lahat gusto magpakitang gilas, and for sure mahirapan kayo dyan.
Yes, nakita na natin. Sabi mo nga, Cho, hindi dapat maging complacent ang bawat isa sa Ateneo dahil they will make sure na makapag-perform sila ng maayos in this league. So sana in their upcoming UAAP, nasa Team A na sila. And here naman sa Alpha Insurance, ayaw din, dapat hindi din sila maging complacent dahil alam natin Ateneo is one of the competitive teams sa UAAP Collegiate.
And safe to say, both teams really have their respective strengths and weaknesses. So maybe it's up to the coaching staff to really identify kung anong angulo ba sila atake. Literally.
Yes.
Right now, we're just waiting for the start of our ball game. Meron tayong starting lineup announcement.
Opposite hitter, Edward Camposano. Jersey number 21, Wesley Capolo. Middle blocker, jersey number 3, Billie Jean Anima. Jersey number 6, John Michael Apolinario. Jersey number 24, Barbie San Andres. Middle blocker, Vince Rene Himzon. Our starting libero is John Maru Akeda. Head coach is Fritz Michael Santos. Starting lineup for the Ateneo de Manila University. Jersey number 7, middle blocker, Christopher Lodge Alejos. Jersey number 24, middle blocker, Carl Aneles Corregidor. Jersey number 9, opposite hitter, Carl Emerson Reyes. Jersey number 4, outside hitter, Gian Matthews Alarzon. Jersey number 11, Ishra Ayel Taluman. Jersey number 14, Julio Miguel Yu. And the starting libero is jersey number 2, Manuel Crisostomo. Our head coach is Vince Malapan.
All right, starting for the Alpha Insurance, we have Caholo, Anima, Takeda, Camposano, Apolinario, San Andres, and Himzon. And for the Ateneo Blue Eagles, it's Alejos, Corregidor, Crisostomo, Reyes, Salarzon, Taluban, and Yu. So again, Ateneo, you can expect some grit and grind from their squad. Of course, that comes with age. As I think it's safe to say, sila yung mas batang team. And ito namang Alpha Insurance, I think, meron naman silang mix of mga veterans, and then meron din silang mix again. Meron silang collegiate players, so they also have that element of being young. Pero syempre, it all boils down, of course, to the execution and of course the techniques that they're going to use in game. And of course, head coach for the Ateneo Blue Eagles is Coach Vince Mangulabnan. And on the other side, it's Coach
This is the
Fritz
NDSL
Santos.
Volleyball series 5-game opportunity start of first set.
So let's see whose boys will get the W first and foremost in this first set. San Andres. That was a good attack but just too long.
Good try for San Andres. Grabe, taas niya tumalon.
Napagrabe ka na lang talaga, no? Raw reaction po yun from Faith.
On deck is Christopher Alejo.
And for sure, yung mga nanonood, ganun din yung naging reaction. As that time,
Serve goes out.
that's outside. So 1 point for Team Alpha Insurance. And we have a 1-1 score.
San Andres.
It'll be San Andres. Her first service. Good reception. Taluban. That was a great set. This time, Camposano. No good on the tap. Taluban the set. The attack. Oh, that's an error. An attack error to be exact.
Two errors for the Ateneo side.
That was Gian Salarzon, unfortunately committing an error. San Andres, her second service. Sharp serve, Taluban the set, the attack. Great recovery. San Andres the set, Camposano tries.
Triple block for Ateneo. No entry.
Let's take another look. It was a great set and great attack, pero even better defense from the Blue Eagles. All two. And there you have it. Great anticipation from Ateneo, pero, you know, that attack was something else.
Quick answer for Anima. Grabe yung setting ng ng Alpha.
3-2. That was a long serve. Taluban. That was a good set. Yun lang, nagkaroon ng miscommunication. And there you have it, Camposano finding a crack on that wall.
Off the block hit by Camposano. Blockers of Ateneo is not quite established. Kaya medyo outside yung block nila.
And naalala ko lang, you know, since we're in the men's division, shout out to our NDSL Volleyball Commissioner, a professional in Sir JV Sumagaysay. He is actually watching in our venue right now. Baka mahagip ng camera every once in a while. But right now, we take a look. Grabe namang palo yun. Actually, yung una, greatly defended eh. Yung pangalawa lang talaga.
Medyo malakas yung palo, kaya nahirapan mag-control.
Serve goes out.
Service out for Julio Yu. So make that a 5-3 score. And this time, it's gonna be Kaholo. His turn for a service. Sharp serve. Oh, there's a violation on the side of Himzon.
Reaching beyond the net by Himzon.
So it's Corregidor's turn to serve. And not the best reception. Camposano attacks. And there you go. One more point for Alpha.
Grabe, kahit triple block si Camposano, he was able to attack that. Sayang, nandun na sana si
Serving is Edward Camposano.
That was great response actually from Ateneo. Triple block. Alam nilang malakas pumalo to. Pero yun nga lang, kumulang pa. A tap. And a violation for Ateneo, leading to a point for Alpha.
Back-to-back points for Alpha.
7-4. Camposano with a chance again. They'll be serving. Camposano, strong serve. Taluban the set. And what a power tap from Christopher Alejos.
finding that hole by Alejos. It was a great set though. Back set, wow.
Wow, indeed.
Wow.
75 now. The serve. Service ace. And the Ateneo boys are loving it.
I like the energy of the Ateneo. Grabe.
That's Carl Reyes. Again, getting that service ace as they're only trailing by 1 now. Reyes to the other side, sharp serve. The set. Oh my goodness! That was a great attack, pero yun nga lang. Syempre, it's about how you end. San Andres, she got a violation that time. Let's take another look. Great set, great attack. Yun nga lang again. It's about how you end, but we'll talk about that more after this timeout.
Pagpasok pa lang sa court, ramdam mo na agad ang energy ni Barbie San Andres at yun din ang unang napansin ni Coach Michael Santos. Kaya naman hindi siya nagdalawang isip na kunin si Barbie for his team. For Coach Michael, high-level energy, liveliness at vocal presence ang kailangan ng team and Barbie is the perfect fit for it. And for Barbie, this personality comes naturally. All smiles pa niyang sinabi sa akin kanina. Syempre, volleyball ang nagpapasaya sa akin. Kaya what better way than to show that onto the court? Cho and Faith.
Thank you very much, Andrea, for that report. And Barbie San Andres plays like her personality. You know, kung gano'n siya kataas tumalon, gano'n siya ka-explosive, gano'n din siya.
Yes.
Gano'n din yung personality niya.
But that block from the Ateneo.
Tignan natin muli. Double block on Ateneo. Talk about spectacular defense. As of now, we have a tied game. Sharp serve, the set. San Andres. Not that time. Ateneo trying to respond, and they do.
Great adjust by you. Grabe, sobrang hirap na paluin nun coming from this side.
That was Julio Yu scoring. This time serving is Gian Salarzon. Great reception for Alpha San Andres. Off spin. The set once again by Ateneo. They bail it out. A set for Alpha. And there you go. One more point for Team Alpha.
Good try for Quijano. That's too much strong. Hindi niya na napigilan, hindi niya na na-control. Yung palo ni Anima.
All tied up at 9. The serve. Good received by you. The Larzon high set. Great defense from Alpha. And Ateneo tried to tap it back. Pero nagwagi itong Alpha.
Second attempt by Anima for that block. Good intention.
We take another look. Again, indeed, great intention. Yun nga lang. Grabe ng mga singing bumulak. Napakatangkad. That was Billie Jean Anima. 10-9.
He's from Lasal pala.
From, as in Taft, right? In the LSU. Kaya naman pala. Hindi naman kukuha ang Lasal ng siyempre hindi magaling. Diba?
Yes.
At that time, ang nagwagi sa sequence na yun itong Ateneo Blue Eagles.
You with that off the block hit. Pero ang hirap talaga palusitin pag ganyan katatangkad yung mga blockers mo.
The serve. Great reception by Campuzano. San Andres. Good maneuver.
Good adjust by San Andres. Medyo dikit yung set sa net. But she was able to adjust.
And here she comes. Barbie San Andres with another service. Sharp serve. And that is in. Service ace.
Nice serve. Jump serve. Finding that corner. Targeting you.
Another look. Once more for Barbie San Andres. Great reception. The attack. That is out. Timeout called right here, 13-10. On your cameras is our NDSL Volleyball Commissioner, the professional Sir JV Sumagaysay. Perhaps our players can learn a thing or two from him. Pero napakaganda naman ang palo na yun to open from a timeout. That was Wesley Kaholo.
Coming from the lefty of the Alpha, Kaholo finding that down the line hit.
So it's 14-10, Alpha with a 4-point advantage, San Andres. Oh, that's a point, but not because of that service. I believe a violation on the side of Ateneo. So it's 15-10. San Andres. A service for her once again. Sharp serve. Service ace once again. Ironically, Barbie is playing with dolls. 16-10. 6-point lead for Alpha. We'll be back. But first, we'll take a look at this service ace from San Andres. Sharp serve. Doesn't matter. We'll be back for more. Back to the action here, 16-10. Again, Alpha with a 6-point lead after 2 points in a row. Well, actually, 1 point lang yun. Pero yung kanina kasi, because of a violation. Pero nevertheless, 2 points in a row for Alpha. And a service ace from Barbie San Andres.
4-0 run for San Andres.
Grabe naman yung palo na yun. Another service ace. Again, ironically, she may be named Barbie pero siya ay naglalaro ngayon.
Yes, pero dito naman sa side ng Ateneo, medyo nahihirapan sila kumuha ng first ball para maka-atake.
That's 2 service aces if I'm not mistaken for San Andres. Did she have Phil try? Oh, she took a different angle. And yun, hindi naman sinayang nito ni Julio Yu.
Score goes to the Ateneo.
Coming from the back, Yu.
17-11, another look at that back row attack. Ateneo with a chance again. Serve, the set, Camposano. Finding a crack on that wall.
Good set by Apolinario. Yung set nila medyo mabibilis, kaya nahihirapan din yung Ateneo mag-block.
Talk about coordination. Camposano knew that timing. Of course, teammate niya, alam niya yung set. Naluban the set. And yun naman ang agante rin itong Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Good response from the middle spiker. It was Corregidor.
So some new names introducing themselves to our contest. 18-12. Alpha with a big deficit, or rather a big lead. Itong Ateneo ang may deficit. But let's see what they have in mind. Julio Yu will be the one to trigger the service. WU. Sharp serve. The set. The attack by Caholo. Nothing you could do.
Another sharp attack from Caholo. Grabe. Iba talaga ang intensity pag men's division.
Ibang-iba talaga. Kita naman natin. On an attack from Caholo. And you know what's good about this Alpha team? Kahit sino, pwedeng umatake.
Yes.
For Ateneo, hindi pwedeng focus ka lang sa isang tao. As Ateneo will try to attack. And they find a crack on that wall.
Off the block hit by you. By Salarzon.
19-13. So that's actually, this is a great match for Ateneo. Again, what better way to prepare yourselves for the coming season than to face seasoned veterans, of course, with a mix of fellow volleyball collegiate players. (19-13). That was a point for Ateneo.
Technical timeout.
Pero meron tayong technical timeout. 19-13. We'll be back for more. 14. Make it a 5-point lead for Team Insurance, Alpha Insurance, but right now make it 6 points. Service error coming from the Blue Eagles.
It was the service specialist, Medino. Medyo pressure talaga pag nasa service specialist area ka.
Edward Camposano serving for Alpha.
22-14, Camposano. Sharp serve. Taluban the set. The attack. Great reception. On the other side. Great attack right there. That was Casas finding a crack on that wall.
Off the block hit by Casas. It was a good set also by Lopez. Medyo mabababa talaga yung setting nila para mahirapan makablock ang Ateneo.
Camposano. That was out. Service error. So maybe in terms of power, hindi nagkukulang itong Alpha. Maybe sa timing na lang din siguro, kaya naman sa accuracy.
Yes. Makikita natin ngayon sa Ateneo. They have full front line.
This time it's Alpha. Oh, the tip. Good recovery for Alpha. Here comes Ateneo. And great dig. San Andres. Access denied.
Back-to-back points for
Good block by Batak. A triple block again. We all know na kailangan talaga natin bantayan. Kailangan talaga nilang bantayan si Barbie.
still serving is Gino.
Another chance for Ateneo. Rosbaya serving. San Andres, the power tip. They recover. Here comes Alpha. No ID, no entry, says the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Back-to-back blocks from the Ateneo Eagles.
21-17. Paya, third serve in a row.
Nakukuha na nila yung tempo ng Alpha.
San Andres with reception. Kimzon, power attack.
Quick answer from Himzon. A big quick attack and also a good set from Lopez. Another specialist coming, service specialist coming in. Romelito Baptista.
22-17. Bautista, sharp serve. Oh, what an attack by Anima.
Good serve from Baptista.
Timeout, the Ateneo.
Timeout called by the Blue Eagles, 23-17. 6-point lead for Alpha. We'll be back for more. Back to the action here, 23-17. 6-point lead for Team Alpha. And again, safe to say, I think Team Alpha is the one dictating the pace of this game.
Yes, Cho. Tignan natin kung paano sila mag-a-adjust. Net fault violation from Alpha.
And sa mga ganyang pagkakataon, maybe yun na yung chance ng Ateneo to really, you know, pick up where they left off.
Yes.
So here comes Salarazon, the serve. Good reception by Barbie. San Andres attacks! A missile from the sky.
Grabe, first ball. And also the attack with an exclamation point from Barbie San Andres.
Tignan ulit natin, San Andres with no remorse.
Grabe yung adjustment niya sa ere.
Yun lang. Service error for Casas. Nevertheless, they're up by 6 points. 5 points, rather. So ito yung sinasabi ko. You know, you really have to take advantage to maximize yung mga pagkakamali ng opponent mo.
Yes.
San Andres once again. Great denial by Ateneo. This time by Adaset. Salarzon, the attack. That's outside.
Attack is out. And that's it.
And that wraps up our set 1.
Taking on
25-19 Alpha
25-19.
taking care of business. A 6-point win for them in set 1. But again, we still have a long way to go. So let's see who shall prevail in set 2. But for now, we'll be taking a short break. We go back to the action, 25-19. A 6-point win on the side of Ateneo for set 1. So let's see who shall prevail in the next sets. And again, sabi nga natin kanina, for most of the set, very evident itong Alpha yung nagdidictate ng pace.
Yes, let's credit also to that the setter kasi siya yung nag-handle ng setting nila para ma-distribute ng maayos yung bola. You can see the distribution of balls na nakaka-atake lahat ng spikers ng Alpha.
And hopefully that's gonna be not the issue for Ateneo. Hopefully they'll find a solution to whatever problem they're facing right now. Because in terms of power, you know, actually overall play, maganda naman talaga yung nilalaro ng Ateneo. It's just that siguro consistency na rin in the latter part of set 1. Tingin mo ba they fell apart?
Isa sa napansin ko din sa kanila yung first ball, nahirapan sila sa first ball kaya hindi din sila maka-atake. Kaya marami din silang errors.
And now we turn it over to Andrea Veloso for an interview.
Thanks, Cholo. I'm here with Assistant Coach Tommy Rivera of Ateneo. Coach, for the whole first set, the Alphas controlled the tempo. How do you plan to steal that control?
Nagkaroon lang ng lapses with basics. So, we plan to go back to the basics with reception and blocking. Kasi if we get to have that, since bago yung team ngayon, nakangapa pa dahil first game di ba? So, makuha lang namin yun, I think we have a good chance in getting this game.
Coach Tommy, San Andres was a threat nung first set. How do you plan to address her?
Again, like I mentioned, if we focus on the blockings, kasi we have relatively tall players and also players who have high jumps. So, kaya siya magpigilan as long as we focus on the blocking patterns.
Thank you, Coach Tommy, and good luck po dito sa
Thank
ating second set. Back to you, Cholo.
Thank you very much, Andrea, and thank you very much to Coach Tommy of Ateneo. And hopefully, again, yung mga sinabi niya, may implement na Ateneo, no? Basics, you know, yung minsan kasi we're so focused on the advanced things, nakakalimutan natin yung mga maliliit na bagay.
Yes, para hindi na natin pahirapan ng sarili natin. Let's go back to the basics, sabi nga ni Coach.
Meanwhile, yun na nga bang sinasabi natin. That was Christopher Alejos scoring on that power tap. Make it 2-0.
I can feel the energy of Ateneo right now. Sana makarecover sila from that first set.
But a service error leading to a point for Team Alpha. So right now it's Barbie San Andres' turn again for a service. San Andres going with power. The set. The attack by Atendido. They find a crack on that wall.
Finding the hand of Cajolo. Grabe yung atake na yon. I also love the energy.
We take another look. The attack was great, pero yung celebration nila even better.
Yes.
And indeed, energy. Energy siguro ang puhunan nitong Ateneo. This second set, 4-1. Atendido, yun lang. Service error on his side. 4-2. Billie Jean Anima with a service. Atendido with a set. The attack. And still Ateneo scoring. Now, great defense pero hindi pa rin talaga mahanap nitong Alpha yung buwelo nila.
Good intention for Himzon. Sayang. With a good set then for Apolinario.
5-2. An overserve for Christopher Alejos.
Back-to-back service error from the Ateneo. Kailangan na nila makontrol.
This time it's Ateneo. Still getting the point. 6-3 now.
Sayang. Kita na ni Camposano yung walang tao sa zone 2.
Right now it's Carl Reyes serving, sharp serve. On the tap by Himzon. Ateneo recovers. Himzon the tap. This time it's Medino trying. And they get a point.
Makikita natin dito sa Ateneo side as an open spiker. Nakikita niya yung hands ng middle blocker na hindi established.
What a kill for the Blue Eagles. This time it's Reyes once again. And that's 3 in a row where they committed service errors.
3 service errors na for the side of Ateneo.
7-4, Ateneo up by 3. Camposano, it's his turn to serve. And he goes for power. Atendido, great receive. Medino attacks. And there you go. Medino with a cannonball. Technical timeout. 8-4. We'll take another look again. Medino launching that one. 4-point lead for Ateneo. We'll be back for more. Go back to the action. Ateneo up by 4 points. So it's John Medino who will serve. He actually scored in their last sequence as well. Medino, power serve. Great reception by Alpha. San Andres, no regard for human life.
Sharp attack from San Andres. Grabe, hindi pa nila napipigilan si Barbie.
And that is the perfect description for her. Wala talagang makakapigil kay Barbie San Andres. Meanwhile, Corregidor, that's too long.
Attack was long. Point is awarded to Alpha.
Medyo nahirapan mag-adjust si Corregidor sa set.
So make it 8-6 now. Ateneo up by 2 points. Himzon will be the one to serve for Team Alpha. And so far, Alpha finding their footing once again. Himzon gets it across. The set by Taluban, atendido. Unfortunately, that is outside.
Too long.
8-7 now. Himzon, another opportunity to serve, and he does. The set by Taluban, atendido. Slipping out of it. And with that, a timeout is called by the Blue Eagles. All tied up at 8, and set 1 will be back. Set 2 rather will be back for more. Back to the action here, all tied up at 8. It's Himzon with service duties once again. And I think Ateneo has figured things out. They know they need to be the ones to dictate the pace.
Yes, nakikita natin ngayon sa Ateneo side, medyo naging effective yung open hitters nila. So, hindi pa well distributed yung bola sa Ateneo side. Dito naman sa Alpha, medyo madami silang errors, pero nakakabawi din sila when it comes to their attacks.
So maybe for Alpha, the point of emphasis will be attacking. Ito namang Ateneo, syempre, napakahirap depensa nitong Alpha. That's gonna be perhaps primarily their focus as they send it to the other side. This time, San Andres denied. Ateneo recovers the tap. Camposano, the clutch. And Caholo try to attack that one. And he gets the point, 9-8.
Coming from that back row hit, Caholo distributed yung setting ni Apolinario.
9-8. Himzon. Corregidor. Great save from Camposano. San Andres responds. And another point for Barbie.
Good intention by Medino. Kala niya inside.
28. Alpha up by 2 points. Slowly but surely, they're regaining momentum once again. Himzon. Medino received it. Atendido attacks. And it's out. Oh, wait a minute. Is that in?
Check ball.
Oh, so someone from Alpha touched it. Apologies with the way, with how fast the ball is moving. Hindi ko talaga makikita yun.
Sobrang lakas.
Gotta give props to our players here in the men's division. As Corregidor will serve. Apolinario the set. What a back set. And Corregidor. And they save it.
Ball is out.
Outside at the top of the antenna. Good save by Corregidor. Taas nun.
Sobrang taas. So once again, a chance for Alpha. That's outside. Ateneo getting a point once again off an error.
But an error from the serve of Apolinario. Yan natin paano sila makakabawi, lalo na nasa harap si Barbie.
Apolinario the set. San Andres attacks. A cannonball by Barbie San Andres.
Another sharp attack from San Andres.
Another look on that one. Again, San Andres with authority. As she'll be the one to serve. (12-10). 2-point lead for Alpha. Again, they won set 1.
Serving for Alpha is Barbie San Andres.
San Andres now goes for the power serve. Ateneo, great reception. Even better defense from Alpha.
Good block by Anima. Nakita niya si Medino nag-a-approach para sa backline hit.
Double block from Team Alpha as they have service once again. But that's out of bounds.
Service goes out.
Another service error from Barbie.
(13-11).
Lia Tendido serving for Ateneo.
So it's Lia Tendido. Over serving that one. 1 point for Alpha.
Ball goes back to Alpha.
So it's Billie Jean Anima now. The Green Archer serving for Alpha. Tendido receives it. The set by Taluban. Alpha recovering. And they keep it alive. Taluban to Alejos. But that time it goes out.
Good attempt by Alejos. Nakita natin yung setting ng Ateneo side is medyo lumalayo sa net kaya nahihirapan yung mga spiker ng Ateneo.
Anima, that was good service. And that is in.
That's the score for Ateneo.
Coming from Ateneo makes it a 3-point lead. It was so fast we have to see it twice. So I believe that was Carl Reyes attacking as they'll have service duties once again. This time it's Christopher Alejos. But that was too far out. Service ace.
Service ace coming from the middle blocker, Alejos.
Another look at that service ace. Way to get a point for Ateneo. And it's Alejos once again, serving. Sharp serve. Apolinario with a set. Kaholo finding a gap in that Ateneo defense.
By Alpha as we head on to another second technical timeout.
Technical timeout, but first, let's take another look. Kaholo with a rocket. We'll be back for more 16-13.
Salarzon is the new captain ball of the Ateneo team, and this is his first time taking on the role. He's ready to lead by example and teach his younger teammates the biggest lesson he learned from his seniors: composure and mental toughness. He knows it won't be easy, especially for a young team, but he's willing to guide them through it. Gian shared that he feels a bit pressured. Ngayon lang ulit ako naging captain ball, tapos sa Ateneo pa. But more than anything, he sees it as an honor. Coach Vince believes this is the perfect time for Gian to step up his leadership, especially with their seniors graduating soon. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Andrea, for that report. And indeed, you know, being a captain, it really hits different. Hindi lang in court, kailangan mo alalahanin teammates mo, pero off the court, syempre may responsibilities ka rin.
Yes, medyo mabigat niyang trabaho ang pagiging team captain. Naranasan mo na ba maging team captain?
Hindi pa eh. Ikaw ba, naranasan mo na?
Oo, mahirap nga.
Mahirap na.
Mahirap.
At syempre, parang kuya eh. Di ba? Parang kuya/ate ng
Yes.
team mo. 16-14 now. Itong Alpha looking for a strong point, and they do. Team Zone with a quick attack.
Grabe. Zero tempo from Himzon. Is also one of the best middle blocker of the NCAA last 100 season.
Another look on that attack. That ball was going 100 kilometers per hour. Overspeeding na. At that time, Medino with a power tap.
Pointer by the ATENEO.
Bumitaw yung blockers. Kasi usually, tinitip out nila yon para easy point. Yun.
And that worked wonders for them. As Medino will serve. Good reception. The set. Team Zone, quick tap. Won't work. Atendido this time. And there you go. Great attack, even better celebration.
Kapag merong Barbie San Andres, meron din tayong Atendido sa Ateneo Blue Eagles.
That is Le Atendido. Cutting the lead to just one as Medino serves. Lopez the set, the attack by Cajolo. Great dig from Medino. Great defense from Alpha. This time, offense. And Cajolo drops the mic.
Grabe yung setter ng Alpha. Pinapabagal niya yung bola. Kasi medyo mabilis nga yung pacing natin ngayon. Medyo nararattle din yung Ateneo side with their defense.
And I think that's what Alpha does best din, no?
Yes.
When it comes to dictating the pace.
Kaya nilang mag-control ng bola.
18-16. Team Zone with a serve. Sharp one. Medino receives it. The tap. Ateneo sending it back. Alpha recovering. San Andres. Oh, that was an unpredictable move. But Atendido will try one. But that is outside.
Grabe yung hustle ni Reyes. But Atendido, quite too long.
19-16. Slowly but surely, we're nearing point 25. Again, last set, it was Alpha who won. So it's still Himzon for the service duties as he gets it across. Medino the reception, the set by Taluban, and the attack by Carl Reyes.
But that answer from Reyes coming from the back row. Grabe ang tulis nun.
We'll take one more look again. Give that ball a ticket. It was overspeeding. So Ateneo now cutting the lead to just 2. They're very much in this game. Power serve. Lopez, that was a good set. Ateneo recovering from the quick attack. Atendido getting blocked. One more time for Atendido.
Violation called against Alpha.
There was a violation on the side of Alpha.
Umabalik na yung energy ng Ateneo na kanina pa natin hinahanap. And I can see now, Pasino, the best opposite hitter of the UAAP inside the court.
They have to watch out for that. Pero yun lang, service error on the side of Pasino. So 22-18. 2-point lead itong Team Alpha. So this time, serving is Jerome Lopez. The service, too long. And with that, nabawi din itong service error ng Ateneo.
Medyo dikit yung laban natin ngayon, 2019. Let's see who will control the set.
Service ace! Courtesy of Taluban.
Nakikita ko dito, ang babata pa pala ng mga Ateneo. The youngest is 2006.
Serving is Adrian.
Itong si John Medino, no?
Yes.
2006.
Grabe.
And ang pinakamatanda naman, I believe, 2002. Itong si Emil Pasino, sabi mo nga, best outside hitter of the UAAP.
Yes.
21-20. It's a close game. Pero lamang itong Alpha. San Andres with a serve. Medino, good reception. The tap, no good from Reyes. At that time, a comeback tap coming from Raymond Sabanal.
1-2 play by Raymond.
Timeout, the Ateneo.
Timeout called, 22-20. Alpha up by 2. We go back to the action, 22-20. As we take a look at our audience here in the Metport Sports Center.
Back on the floor, still serving for Alpha is Barbie Santos.
22-20, Barbie San Andres. Good serve. The set, Atendido. Finds a crack on that ball.
Goes in for the Ateneo. Score is 21 serving 22.
So it's Atendido. After scoring, will serve. They're down by only 1 point. The attack. But that is out. So we have a tight game at 22.
We are now tied at 22.
That went wide for Derek Bautista. Let's see paano sila makakabawi.
Another serve for Lee Atendido. Lopez. So Alpha getting a point courtesy of number 7, Jose Javelona. So we have a close game, 23-22. Hang on to your seats. Raymond Sabanal serving. Gets it through. The set. The attack by Reyes. Denied. Another set. Reyes will try one more time. And Lopez recovering. Ateneo with a chance. Reyes the tap. Won't fall this time. Javelona getting denied.
Triple block for the Ateneo. Medyo nawawala na ng atake yung Alpha. Nahihirapan when it comes to attacks.
Another look. It was Christopher Alejos rejecting that shot. All tied up at 23. Alejos gets it across. Lopez the set. Himzon. And they get a point.
Quick attack from Himzon. Maaasahan mo talaga yung middle spiker nila when it comes to these crucial moments.
So this time it's Javelona. Service duties again. They get it across. Medino overpass. And that is in. And with that, Team Alpha Insurance winning this set number 2. 2 sets now for them as we take another look. Again, Ateneo, it was Medino overpassing. Hindi naman sinain itong Alpha ang kanilang pagkakataon. And now we take a short break. Again, itong Alpha, 2 sets, 1. We'll go back to the action here in the Met Park Sports Center as we take a look. Set 1, won by Alpha 25-19, and set 2, still won by Alpha 25-23. So, you know, props to Ateneo. In that second set, it was much closer, pero syempre, right now they're down by 2. I'm sure to some extent, shoulders are down, pero for sure, hindi magpapatalo.
Yes, nakikita natin maraming nagsi-step up for the team of Ateneo now, which is si Atendido, Medino, and now sa Alpha naman, medyo nahirapan naman sila when it comes to their attacks.
And hopefully, they'll find a solution to their problems. But for now, we'll be turning it over to Andrea Veloso for a report.
Speaking about that solution, Cho, kasama ko nga ngayon the assistant coach of Alpha Insurance, Coach Lando Ortega. Coach, yun nga, nabanggit nga ng anchor na during the crucial moments nung second set, na hirapan kayo sa pagkuha ng attacks. How do you plan to address that here in the next set?
Bali yung attack kasi nag-start yan syempre sa first ball. So yung adjustment na ginawa namin, niremind namin yung mga players na mag-focus muna doon sa first ball para makapag-execute kami ng maayos na atake.
Coach, nasa inyo pa rin ang momentum with that win on the second set. What's the message to the team?
Yun lang, maging consistent lang, then less error para maging dire-diretso yung run.
Thank you, Coach Lando, and good luck po for this next set. Back to you, Cholo.
Thank you very much, Andrea. And that is a great take on what, of course, Alpha should do. Because, again, first ball almost means everything, you know. Kapag hindi ka naka-execute first ball, syempre kung anong gusto mong i-execute afterwards, hindi mo na magagawa.
Yes, first things first. Kailangan muna nila ma-establish yung service receive para makabawi agad sila when it comes to their attacks.
That's one thing to take note of if you're Alpha. Meanwhile, Ateneo this time with a chance. Alpha, great defense on their side. Avilona, no good on the tap. Ateneo this time. So the rally continuing. San Andres will try. But she is denied.
Ball is out.
Off the block hit for San Andres. Ilang points na kaya siya, Joe?
We're all wondering that. Pero I think one thing's for sure. Marami-rami na rin, no? Siguro.
Yes. Coming from that first set, nakikita natin siya. Siya yung nagde-deliver sa Alpha.
And kita naman natin, hirap na hirap talaga ang Ateneo to really contradict itong production ni Barbie San Andres. But that time, they were fortunate getting a point. As Medino will be the one, the youngest player on this team. High toss, Bautista with a missile from the sky.
Derek Bautista with a sharp cross hit. Grabe din yung set ni Lopez. Naiwan yung middle blocker nila.
Taluban. Alejos with a swing, but it's outside.
Tackles line. Back to that point.
Quite long for Alejos, but good intention.
3-1 now as Anima will serve. Short serve on that one. Three to 2. Looks like it'll be Christopher Alejos to serve for Ateneo.
Serving for Ateneo is Christopher.
Alejos received by Barbie. Avilona getting denied. The set. Avilona, no good on the attack. Great defense from Ateneo. Bautista, no good on the power tap. Reyes this time. And they get the point. Call Reyes again.
By Reyes.
Powerful tip from Reyes. Kita niya medyo nagsa-struggle na yung Alpha when it comes to their defense pattern.
All tied up with 3. Alejo service error on his side. 4-3 now. Alpha gets it across. Taluban with the set. And that was no good. Coming from Salarzon. Rally continuing. Avellona tries. And they get it to go.
For the third time, Avellona giving that attack.
5-3. Taluban, high pass. The attack by Reyes.
But that block from Bautista, he's from Letran Knights.
Take another look. Great attack, but even better defense. Double block. So now it's Avellona with a service. No good for Salarzon. Overpass. But still, things going Alpha's way. As Avellona will be the one to serve once again. Gets it across. Taluban with the set. Reyes with a tap. This time Bautista. And he gets it to go.
First technical timeout.
Timeout called right here, 8-3. Alpha up by 5. We'll be back for more. Back to the action here, 8-3. Again, Bautista scoring on that last sequence with a swing. So right now, possession still with them. Avellona will be the one to serve. Good reception. Oh, denied. Himzon says no.
Perfect block for Himzon. Kita mo, very established yung mga kamay. At nabasa niya yung atake ng Ateneo.
Avellona once again launching. Salarzon able to receive it. The set by Taluban. Salarzon again tries. Won't connect. San Andres off spin. There was a violation. One more point for Alpha.
Net fault violation for the Ateneo.
Avellona launches. Received by Salarzon. The attack. It connects. Courtesy of John Medino.
Medino coming from the back. Kailangan nila yon para makapag one stop. And as we all know, the Alpha has the 6-point lead at this set.
Carl Reyes will be launching the service. He gets it through. Good reception by San Andres. Bautista attacks. Denied. Lopez tries. Himzon with a cannon.
Underhand set by Lopez. Sobrang bihira lang natin makakakita ng ina-underhand set para ibigay set sa middle spiker natin. Usually kasi underhand is usually given to the open spikers or opposite spikers.
So proof din talaga na kahit anong klaseng set pa yan, kayang-kaya ng Alpha.
Yes.
Point is given.
Another error for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Paano kaya nila makokontrol?
12-14. That's a question we're all trying to ask. Bautista, go to the service. The set by Salarzon. That ball is out of bounds. One more point for Alpha.
13 serving for
Let's see kung tatawag ba ng timeout si Coach Vince.
13-14. Medyo malaki na yung kalamangan itong Ateneo. Or I'm sorry ng Alpha. But that's something Ateneo will have to respond to. Di pwedeng masyadong malaking lamang. Of course, pressure builds up in these situations.
serving is John Del Bautista.
Salarzon. Oh, getting it to go. And finally, it connects for Ateneo.
Serving for the Ateneo is a team captain, Gian Salarzon.
Salarzon. Power serve. Good reception. San Andres with a missile from the sky.
Attack.
Grabe. That play from Lopez. Nade-delay talaga nila yung blockers ng Ateneo. Nahihirapan sila sa pag-block.
With that, it's an 11-point lead for Alpha. Medyo nabaon ng unti itong Ateneo. I'm sure pressure is pressing upon their shoulders. As that is out of bounds.
Todd goes out.
Fourteen to 6. It'll be Corregidor with service duties. Carl gets it through. Lopez. What an attack at that time by Jefferson Abunyawan.
Jeff Abunyawan with that quick attack. Grabe. Sobrang quick.
Sobrang
Sobrang bilis.
Yun na lang talaga masasabi mo no? I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I'm also lost for words kung paano maglaro. Not only Alpha, of course, but, you know, Ateneo as well, and I'm sure the rest of the teams here in our men's division. But this time, Alpha, good reception. Avelona is out of bounds. One more point for Alpha. Slowly but surely, they're nearing point 25. Pero meron tayong timeout. 16-17 in favor of the Alpha. Go back to the action here. Alpha up big time. Can Ateneo recover? Reyes. Great recovery from Alpha. And that's out of bounds, leading to an Ateneo point.
8-16.
It's 16-8. It'll be John Medino again, the youngest Blue Eagle in that squad, serving.
Great experience to para sa kanila.
service error.
But unfortunately, a service error on his side. But this time it'll be Abunyawan serving for Team Alpha. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't really play during the first 2 sets.
Yes. Nag-service specially siya.
There's a touch.
So medyo unti lang yung appearances, pero pagpasok naman, sulit naman ang pasok ni Coach.
Quality.
Quality minutes.
Yes.
That's Christopher Alejos serving for Ateneo again. 17-9.
Service error.
And the woes of Ateneo continuing. Mahirap talaga pag nababaon ka.
Yes, mahirap makabalik. Lalo na yung momentum ngayon is nasa side ng Alpha.
At syempre, we're in set 3 na. So the pressure is starting to build up as well. But hopefully they can recover. Di pa naman tapos ang itong laban. As Ateneo will get one.
Hanggat di umaabot ng 25, hindi pa natatapos.
And itong Alpha, still 7 points away from point 25. So still again, itong Ateneo, they still have a chance. Pero, you know, I believe they have to do it here and now. They cannot wait any longer. As it's Gian Baya serving for the Blue Eagles. And he gets it through.
Easy drop.
An easy drop coming from Alpha. And that's what we're talking about. You know, since momentum na sa kanila, they get their points. Hindi na kailangan masyadong effort.
Yes. Pinapadali na lang nila. Pinapadali na lang nila yung buhay nila para makakuha ng isang puntos.
Oh, Medino. That was a great back row attack. But even better was that one coming from Jose Avilona.
There's a check.
JJ Havilona with that answer. From back row attack.
That was so fast. We need to see it one more time. 20-10. Yun lang. Gian Baya had trouble setting up the ball.
Timeout. Ateneo and still Alpha protectors.
Timeout called, 21-10. Big time lead for Alpha. We go back to the action. Again, unfortunately, Ateneo being buried with an 11-point lead by Alpha. And ito namang Alpha, 4 points away from the victory in this game. As Medino tried that back row attack, won't work. Bautista this time. And he gets it through. Sorry, it's Baptista. Bautista was the one who donned jersey number 2 a while ago. Take another look. That was Romelito Baptista. Meanwhile, Ateneo. Salarzon, strong attack, not strong enough. They try, Havilona getting it through.
Again and again by Havilona coming from that back row attack. Go-to player of Lopez here in our third set.
Slowly but surely, itong Alpha seeing daylight at the end of the tunnel. Pero yun lang, Ateneo keeping the energy alive. You gotta give props to them.
So much needed from the opposite spiker, Batak from the Ateneo.
23-11. Ateneo perhaps a sign of good things to come. Salarzon, sharp serve, good reception. Cross-court hit for Romelito Bautista. We'll take another look. Romelito baptizing his opponents with that attack.
ATENEO is back in replacing Lutito.
24-11. High pass. Another point for Ateneo.
The energy of Ateneo is still alive. Credit from the opposite hitter. Hindi pa rin natatapos ang laban hanggat hindi nagto-25.
A great belief system. Ateneo needs that one. Oh, Abunyawan just ending the party with that attack. 24-12. And a straight set win for Alpha. 3-0. Big time congratulations to Team Alpha. Of course, props to the young guns of the Blue Eagles. Again, I'm sure they came here to prepare for the upcoming season. And what better way to prepare than to face a formidable opponent and a professional team in Alpha. But that's a wrap for our game. Thank you very much for watching. And in terms of best player of the game, medyo obvious naman siguro sino ba talagang gumawa dito sa Team Alpha. Although, syempre lahat yan may contribute. Meron talagang isang nag-stand out eh.
Yes, meron talaga isang mag-stand out dyan. And that's also, it was a teamwork, team effort ang kanilang ginawa for this, for their first match against Ateneo.
Let's take a look at the score. Set 1, it was at 25-19. Set 2 naman, 25-23. Medyo lumapit. Pero itong set 3, yun talaga yung panapos nitong Alpha, 25-12. Burying Ateneo for a straight set win. And their first game in this volleyball series, 25-12. Pero muli, ang ating best player of the game, inaabangan natin yan. Again, if you've watched it, if you've watched the whole game, alam mong sino ba talaga ang nag-stand out. And now we're just waiting for her availability. Maybe clue na yun kung sino ba.
Yes.
Again, big time congratulations to Alpha. And mukhang magandang interview ang makukuha natin. Buong team ang makikita on cam. O, hindi naman siguro.
Ay, hindi.
Inasar lang tayo ng unti. But for now, we'll be turning it over to Andrea Veloso for our best player of the game interview.
Thank you, Cholo. A standout performance indeed, none other than from Barbie San Andres of Alpha Insurance. Grabe yung energy na binigay mo. First set pa lang. Ano ba yung naging motivation mo to perform this well here in your first match?
Siguro po excited po kami na ilabas yung game namin ngayon sa mga tao na dito sa liga. Kasi first time ko sa kanila, parang siguro expectation din nila. Sa akin, sa amin, lahat. Ayun po.
Barbie, alam kong masaya ka na makasama ulit yung ilan sa mga naging teammates mo na dito sa Alpha Insurance. Ano pa ba yung nilook forward mo, especially sa mga next game days natin?
Siguro po yung nilalook forward ko is yung mabuo pa po yung team namin na mas lumakas, mas tumibay, tsaka mas naging buo po kami sa loob ng court.
Good luck with that. Barbie, baka may gusto kang pasalamatan o batian?
Binabati ko po si mama, si papa, yung mga tito, tita ko, lolo't lola, mga prof ko, si Coach Aying na pumayag sa akin maglaro. Tsaka lahat ng mga teammates ko, hello po.
Thank you, Barbie. And of course, congrats to Alpha Insurance. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Andrea. And that is once again our best player of the game. The very fierceful and skilled Barbie San Andres leading Alpha Insurance into a W for their first ever game here in the NDSL Volleyball Series. And that's a wrap for our first two games. Stay tuned for the opening ceremonies after this one. And of course, it has been Cholo Pangilinan, LPU, Lady Pirates Open Spiker, Faith de Guzman, and Andrea Veloso. This is the one and only NDSL Volleyball Series.